Hi everyone! So I wanted to talk about having staple fruits on a raw foods diet because I think that's very highly important is to have staple fruits, a staple food, staple fruit that you always gravitate to every day that gives you the bulk of your daily calorie needs every day. And a lot of you raw foodies already know this. Yes, you do. And a lot of raw food channels, of course, they'll talk about staple fruits too. And of course, you can just type that in the YouTube and there'll be tons of videos there for you guys to check to get other people's opinions about it. But I highly agree with staple fruits because there are your fruits that you can be eating a whole lot of, but they're super low in calories and you're generally super full, but you still haven't met your calorie needs for the day and you can run into some problems. So you can run into some problems kind of long term, short term too, but I mean, you feel it short term, but if you keep doing it long term, you can run into some problems. So that's why I think it's really good to have a staple fruit or staple fruits. Now, staple fruits, of course, in my opinion, from what I've learned, you guys, is they are the more denser and higher calorie fruits. And of course, a lot of you raw foodies, you guys know what fruits those are. And of course, I know that's either bananas, all types of bananas. Just remember, there's literally thousands of different types of bananas on this planet. So it's not just the standard regular yellow bananas. It's all types of bananas, okay? All types of nanners. And then there's dates. And again, dates, there's thousands of different types of varieties of dates on this planet. Not just the standard deglet nor Zahidi and Medjool dates that you always see in the general grocery stores everywhere. There's so much more out there. So always seek and you will find and enjoy the abundance and variety God has provided for you. Just remember that because there's so much more than what you see in the general grocery store. So we have the bananas and the dates, and then there's papayas, all the different types of papayas. And then, let's see, there was another one. Oh, sapotes. Oh my gosh. If you can have access to sapotes like often, good. Oh my gosh, you don't know how fortunate you are. That is, mommy sapote specifically is amazing. It tastes like candied yams and candied sweet potatoes from your Thanksgiving dinner. It's so delicious. It provides you a ton of calories for your body, good carbohydrates, sugars, everything you need. And it's soft like butter, you know, like avocados, the texture, and a little bit of sweet potato and yam type texture, you know, more on the avocado texture side, and soft like butter. But it's, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And really, I could live off mama sapotes if I had access to them more often. I would have those as my staple fruit. But I do know persimmons, but of course it's yearly, it changes also, so that makes a big difference. The seasons, I guess you could say throughout the seasons it changes, but on a yearly basis, a lot of people kind of gravitate to the bananas and dates as their staple fruit because that's something nearly everybody anywhere in the world kind of really where you can find dates, you can find bananas, you know. And there is another staple fruit. I had a list, I couldn't find my list, guys, so I know there is another fruit out there that I have not, that it's just not coming to my mind right now, but I know there's another fruit out there that can be also a staple fruit too. But I know a lot of people, of course, go for the nanners and the dates because that's what's most easily accessible and it's cheap too. Anywhere you go, anybody can generally afford bananas and dates. And if I know, well, dates for some people might find a little bit spendy sometimes, but you can always rely on bananas because they are always accessible in abundance too in any grocery store, and it's cheap enough to where anybody can really afford bananas. And there's so much you can do with bananas too, bananas and specifically dates too, but bananas are so versatile, especially those yellow ones, the standard yellow ones, because you can make banana nice creams, you can make dehydrated bananas, or just generally air dry your bananas. It turns it almost into like a sweet donut type texture, and oh, it transforms the flavor. There is something magical about dehydrating nanners, you know. It's just either way, in a dehydrator or just air drying, there's something magical that happens to them, you know. So there's a lot of raw desserts you can do, raw vegan desserts. You can do meals and everything with just bananas, and there you can always add them to smoothies, and there's so much you can do with bananas. So those are really good staple fruits, of course, and any raw food channel you go to, you're always going to see bananas, because that is generally a staple fruit. And I know for me, my staple fruits are bananas and dates, and that's one thing I learned when I first came to the raw food lifestyle. Is this was back when Freely the Banana Girl and Durian Rider, when they were raw, and they were just, oh my gosh, they were really popular on the YouTube, and they very, very knowledgeable. And that's one thing they stressed, is bananas and dates a lot. But I really like to not eat as much as they do, of course, but I mean, but always have them, because dates, you can always, those are very versatile too, again, like bananas, because you can use them in smoothies, in your dressings. You can make tons of raw desserts with them, you know, and of course they are so freaking delicious all on their own. And it's kind of in their denser fruits, and but the thing with dates is you kind of don't want to make dates, eat them all the time, because you can run into dental problems, because most of the dates that all of us have access to are dried out. So a lot of people view dates as a dried fruit, when really dates are not meant to be eaten super dried out. You know, they are meant to be so ooey gooey and soft that they melt in your hands before you can get them into your mouth. They lose their shape before you can even get them to your mouth. And they are so much different in that stage, and so much better in that soft ooey gooey stage, that is the way you know we were meant to eat dates. But I know our dental problems, when we run into dental problems on a raw foods diet, that's because we're generally eating too much dried fruit. The food sticks to our teeth, and that causes problems. It's not really, from what I've learned, it's not really a sugar problem. It's a problem when we eat dehydrated foods and cooked foods, you know, and it sticks to our teeth, and that's where the dental problems come about. That's what I've learned, though, and even through experience too. But I know, so bananas and dates are, of course, the really good staple fruit. Oh, mangoes just came to my mind. Also, mangoes are a good staple fruit also, but I know a lot of people kind of don't rely on the mangoes, because you can't really get them year round. Well, most people kind of can't get them year round, and they're only super, super good when they're in season, of course, and that's in the summertime. I know for me up here in Alaska, the summertime, oh, the mangoes are heavenly. But I know for a year-round staple fruit, really good ones are bananas and dates. So I make sure I always have bananas and dates on hand. And every grocery shopping trip that I do, I always need dates, because I always add them to my raw dressings. They make any raw dressing superb for veggie meals and stuff, and added to smoothies. It's just wonderful. One meal, I don't know if you guys have ever tried, but it's Freely the Banana Girl's Daterade. Oh, that is so good. And there's so many different variations of Daterade that you can make. It's so, so good. So she has done a fabulous job with Datarade, and I wanted to share with you guys some Datarade recipes too, if you don't know about the Datarade, but you can just type it in and visit Freely the Banana Girl's channel, and she's got Datarade on there, and I'm sure a lot of you raw foodies know about the Datarade, but I know a lot of people do bananas and date smoothies and stuff, but those are really good staple fruits in my opinion, and I agree, but I kind of don't like to eat bananas and dates all the time. I really like to eat the water-rich fruits, but I know I always have frozen bananas on hand. I always have frozen bananas on hand, and dates can always last in the cupboard for quite a while too. So I make sure I focus on the water-rich fruits like the pineapples, apples, all different types of citrus, you know, the grapefruits, oranges, and even oranges I think can be classified as a staple fruit also, but I think it's easier when you juice them. You can get a lot more energy in if you juice them, but that kind of just popped in my brain there too. But I like to focus on the other water-rich fruits in general though, and I love the lychees, rambutans, longans, sugar apples, cherimoyas, soursop, fruit, and let's see, there's sapodilla, mama sapotes, white sapote, black sapote, and then there's durian, jackfruit, and all other types of fruits that I haven't even heard of that I still have yet to try, you know. But I think it's kind of back on the staple fruits. I'm going off topic here, Stace. You're going off topic here. Get back centered here. But anyways, I know back on the staple fruits, it's on a raw foods diet, it's very, very important, I think, to have a staple fruit, and it's a fruit that you always gravitate to give you the bulk of your energy every day. So you make sure you're getting in enough every day too. So, and if you're always curious about it, I did a video on Chronometer, and I know a lot of you guys already know about Chronometer and everything, but that's a very good tool, I believe, to use, and then you can really see how much energy is really in your fruits, in your staple fruits that you're eating, in the smoothies that you're making, and then you can base that off of how you can correlate that to how you're feeling. So then you can make better decisions at your next meal at what type of fruits you kind of should be including and eating a lot more to sustain your energy a little bit more. And then you can make that correlation and see a visual of it on Chronometer and then correlate it with how you've been feeling. So that's just one thing I love about Chronometer there, guys. And I'm sure there probably might be some other fruits that are good staple fruits that I haven't mentioned, but it's for a majority of people around the world, you know, that can do fully raw, and those are kind of the general fruits that I have found and that I've learned that most people have access to at any grocery store you go to. And then of course there's the nuts and seeds, but you don't want to make those staple fruits because we kind of want to keep the fat lower though. But generally it's for people who have it's the fruits that everybody kind of has access to that are kind of on the cheaper side, so everybody can actually attempt a raw foods diet and see if they want to continue with it. So okay guys, so I'll stop babbling here. Remember to love being raw. Put a big old smile on your face today. I hope I did that for you, and I'll see you guys next video. Okay, bye guys.